Hare Krishna. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that at the time of death, you should remember me. If you remember me, you'll actually come back to me. After hearing this, Arjuna was feeling very blissful. He was thinking, chalo, only thing that I'm supposed to do is remember Krishna. Now I can avoid this ghastly warfare. I need not fight. But then, now Krishna is going to put a googly and tell Arjuna that you have to remember and also you have to fight. So let's see that in shloka number 7. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhya cha mayyar pita mano buddhir mam evaishyasya asamshayah. So here Krishna is saying tasmat, therefore. Now he has told 2 shlokas that you remember me at the time of death, you will attain my nature, and after that he is telling therefore, O Arjuna, sarveshu kaleshu, you should always, all the time. What am I supposed to do all the time? Mam anusmara, always think of me. Oh, that's it, or something more I'm supposed to do? Oh, there is something more, yudhyacha, and fight. Always remember me and at the same time carry out your prescribed duties, and you being a Kshatriya, your prescribed duty is to fight, yuddha. And then he adds, Maya arpita mano buddhir, and all your activities should be dedicated to me. You're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for me. And mano buddhir, your mind and intelligence must be fixed on me. And then finally he says that mam eva eshyasi asamshayah. If you do this, you will attain me for sure, asamshayah, without doubt. So here Krishna is telling Arjuna, Arjuna, don't smile. You have to remember me and you have to fight remembering me. Dedicate all those activities to me and make sure your mind and intelligence is fixed on me. By doing all this, you will come back to me. So very, very important shloka. Not just for Arjuna, but for all of us. Let's see some of the important points. So the Lord does not say that one should give up his prescribed duties or engagements. So this is the misconception that people have. People think that, okay, no, I've started practicing bhakti, or that person has started practicing bhakti, now he'll give up everything. He'll give up everything and just do the devotional service. Okay, this option is available. For whom? For the bachelor, for bachelor boys. This is available wherein before the age of 25, if a boy decides that he wants to dedicate his entire life in service of Lord Krishna, yes, he can do that, renounce his family, and he can become a monk. He can remain a brahmachari throughout his life. But this option is available only when the person is not married. But then when the person is married, at that time he has responsibilities. That person cannot give up the family till the age of 50. So from the age of 25, say he gets married at the age of 25 or 26. So till the age of 50, he has to make sure that he takes care of the entire family very nicely. He has to execute the duties. He has to fulfill the responsibilities of the family. After the age of 50 and 60, the person can decide to take a vanaprastha, where he and his wife can go out for tirtha yatra. And finally, when he reaches the fag end of his life, he can leave the family, renounce the family, and take sannyas. So a person who is bachelor and renounces the family and other duties, material duties, who remains a brahmachari, a celibate, can directly take sannyas after some time. But for a person who is getting married, he has to execute the responsibilities, and then after that, after some time, good number of decades, then he can actually take up sannyas. So here is a very important point to understand. There shouldn't be any misconception about bhakti. Because as soon as misconception of bhakti comes, we will not be able to practice bhakti very properly. There should be full clarity of what is my nature, what am I supposed to do. If suppose a person is a bachelor boy, so this is not valid for the bachelor girls. So for females, for ones who belong to the category of stri or females, sannyas is not allowed. So they cannot take sannyas. So this misconception that my daughter, my wife, my mother will take to sannyas, so that should be removed completely. Now for all those parents who think that, oh, my son will become a sannyasi, now he has started practicing bhakti. Maybe if you are very fortunate, your son will become a sannyasi. But then the fact of life is that in the entire world, there are only very, very few people who take to this renounced order of life, where they decide that full time I will do devotional service. I will not do anything apart from that. So very, very few fortunate souls get this opportunity. So we shouldn't obstruct our kids from practicing devotional service. Anyways, if they are supposed to remain a bachelor, anyways they'll remain. Nowadays we have live-in relationship and all this nonsense which is there. So anyways they'll get into all that nonsense. But then now in the age of Kali Yuga, what is important is practicing devotional service. Because if that is not done, then it's a great dangerous situation that is awaiting for everyone. So parents shouldn't have this problem when kids are practicing devotional service. And wives shouldn't have any problem when husbands are practicing devotional service. When husband is practicing devotional service, the wife should encourage very nicely. She should have full confidence that this person cannot leave me because it's not allowed in the Shastra. So in this way, hope now we understood who can do full-time devotional service. Only very few people get this opportunity to do full-time devotional service, where all the time, 24/7, they are just immersed in Krishna consciousness. But the majority of the crowd is in the category where they're going to execute the worldly responsibilities. What about them? How will they attain Krishna? How will they go back to Godhead? Is it possible? Because what did Krishna say? Krishna said that if you remember me at the time of death, then you'll come back to me. So now the question is, will a person be able to remember Krishna at the time of death when he's executing worldly responsibilities? So this is the question. But here Krishna is answering that question. What is Krishna saying here? Krishna is saying, Mam anusmara yuddhacha. Whatever responsibilities you have, O Arjuna, execute that. But along with that, remember me. So this is the practice that all the people who are executing their worldly responsibilities should do. But here there is a sequence that is given. First he says, Mam anusmara, remember me, go on remembering me. And then he says, Yuddhacha. So we should have a strong practice, early in the morning, we should have a strong practice of remembering Krishna by chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So when we are chanting early in the morning, when we prepare our consciousness by remembering Krishna, it's a great probability that we'll be able to remember Krishna throughout the day while doing our various activities. But if that is not happening, then it's very difficult. So here it is given that one can continue the responsibilities, the prescribed duties, and at the same time think of Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna. This will free one from the material contamination and engage the mind and intelligence in Krishna. So whatever activities we are doing, somehow we have to get this into practice. Whatever activities, be it cooking or be it coding, be it going to school, be it studying, or be it doing any other activity at home or in the office or anywhere outside or inside the house, is my tongue vibrating the Hare Krishna Mahamantra or not? This is a very important question. And we have to keep practicing this. Consciously we have to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra while doing any activity. Consciously we have to make sure that we think of Krishna. At least to start with, at some fixed time of the day, we should remember Krishna. Like for example, when early in the morning we wake up. So first thing that we do is chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, remember one's Guru and Krishna. And then while taking bath, while taking bath, one can keep chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the mind. And then while one is having food, prasad, we can remember Krishna. Because prasad itself is Krishna. So when we are looking at prasadam, when we offer the prasadam honoring prayers, we can remember Krishna. When we are starting our office work, we remember Krishna. Throughout the office work, in between, when we have some time, we remember Krishna. We chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then when we end the office work or household work or whatever it is, we again remember Krishna. And then whenever we are having prasadam, say lunch or dinner or whatever, we remember Krishna at that time. Before sleeping at night, we remember Krishna exclusively and offer intense prayers to Krishna, saying, "Oh Krishna, today's day is gone. please help me to remember you intensely at least tomorrow. And when we wake up next day, we again offer this prayer, please help me to remember you intensely the entire day. So hope you are understanding. It's a practice. It's a practice that each and every person has to go through or do basically. Especially when it comes to us as sadhakas, as devotees, we have to practice intensely to remember Krishna. And it's not that difficult. Remembering Krishna is blissful. Whenever we remember Krishna, we feel so secure, so fearless. So it's very important that we practice remembering Krishna by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra while doing any activity. So here finally it is said, by chanting Krishna's names, one will be transferred to the supreme planet Krishna Loka without a doubt. So if we remember Krishna's names, Krishna's form, Krishna's pastimes, and various other things related to Krishna, we'll be able to remember Krishna at the time of death and go back to him. So now the question is, are we supposed to renounce our responsibilities? No. We have to carry on. We have to go on doing our responsibilities, carry out our responsibilities, do our prescribed duties or engagements, whatever we have. And along with that, Mam Anusmaram, go on remembering Krishna. So in this way, Krishna has made a very, very strong statement. But then he knows very well that people in the age of Kali Yuga will not be able to remember this so emphatically. So now Krishna is going to repeat the same point again, stressing it very, very strongly in the next shloka. So let's see that in the next video. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.